Welcome to the Animation Station Podcast, your home for discussions and debates about all things animation. Each week, we'll rank, review, and revel in animated shows from yesterday and today, and from around the world. So grab your Acme slingshot, set your mobile suit to autopilot, and put on your mouse ears. The Animation Station Podcast begins now.
I bought a lot of C's candy.
Yeah, you did.
Look at this. You want some candy? No,
Thank you.
This one right here is a dark chocolate cocoa buttercream with a cocoa filling. I mean, coffee filling. Coffee.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Sounds pretty
with
good.
coconuts.
Oh, pass.
Oh.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Where did you go to seize candy? Where?
Oh, in the mall.
Oh,
Penn.
Penn Square.
Yeah, because I went to go see. What movie did I go see yesterday? Dark Tower. Saw Dark Tower.
Oh, Stephen
Yeah.
King. So is that where you saw the It trailer?
Yes.
Oh.
Conveniently,
It's
it
weird.
was.
There's a new wave of Stephen King right now. It's like
That's
everybody's all hyped up on the King again.
Yeah.
Did you ever read much Stephen King?
Nope. I don't think I've ever read a single Stephen King.
I've
watched
I may
a
have read
lot
one
of
of
his
short
stuff.
stories.
I watched a lot of his stuff, and I remember watching. Wasn't it like a TV movie event? And then when they did Tommyknockers,
I think
wasn't it
so.
like a
Yeah,
two-part
they've done
or
several
three-part or
of those.
something
They
like
did
that?
The Stand, and I can't remember what else.
The
My
Dome-
favorite Stephen King movie,
Is the Dome one his?
the Dome one.
Yeah, the one
I
where
don't
the
remember.
like people live in a dome.
I don't
That's
remember.
Stephen King,
I don't
isn't
think
it?
that's him.
Oh,
Wait, yes, that is
Yeah.
him. That is him.
And then is the Fog his too?
The Mist.
The Mist. Yeah, not the
I
Fog.
think so,
the
yes.
Mist.
Yeah. Well,
had
they
that
call
movie.
it the Mist, but it is clearly a fog.
It's clearly a
so
fog, yeah.
I understand the mistake there.
There's not a lot of precipitation, but so
Yeah.
it's not technically a mist.
Yeah. I like Shawshank a lot.
Shawshank's good.
And I like Misery a lot.
Miseries. Whew.
Speaking of James Caan, he's in the film we're going to talk about today.
He is in the film. Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome. So, yeah. From Stephen King to Sony Pictures Animation. Full circle.
Well, Columbia did Misery.
Oh, really?
I have no idea. If
Oh,
that's
gosh.
true.
That'd be awesome. Same company.
But yeah, Dark Tower was really good. I really hope
Cool.
they continue it.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a series of movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and
'Cause
I don't know where in the books, because I've never read the books, but now
Right.
I want to.
Mhm.
So I don't know where in the books this movie falls.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if this is like number 1, because Dark Tower is like book number like 6 or 7, something like that. So I'm like,
Well, yeah,
Is this-
I think that's the name of the last book is The Dark Tower.
well, the name of it's like the something or other.
I can't remember.
It's weird.
It's like
the one that came out in
7
2012 was the
Yeah.
last one, and Dark Tower
Mhm.
came out in like 2009.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know it starts with the Gunslinger, and then there's 6 more books after that.
Yeah. So I was like, is this the Gunslinger? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it was good. Idris Elba was fantastic. And this is probably
good,
my
man.
favorite Matthew McConaughey role.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he's just so bad.
Yeah?
I mean, bad in a good way. He's
Right.
a good bad guy.
Cool.
I don't like him when he's like, being Matthew McConaughey. But when he's like being a bad dude, I was like,
Yeah.
dang, Matthew McConaughey.
Nice.
Dang. Did you watch Jessica Jones?
No.
Okay. Never mind then.
All
He's
right.
kind of got the powers of David Tennant from Jessica Jones, where he can basically make people like do whatever he wants. So he would be like, stop breathing.
Kind of a
And people
puppet
just be like,
master
and just
kind of
stop
thing.
breathing and die.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Nice.
really cool. And I'm like, ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He was dope.
Cool, man. What? Let's talk about some animation.
All right. Welcome to the Animation Station podcast, episode 54.
Whew.
My name is Josh.
I'm Gavin.
My goodness, Gavin.
What?
54 episodes.
Yeah,
And it feels
54,
like you
man.
haven't been on 7 of
We're
them.
getting old. Well, I've missed a couple in the last couple months, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I enjoyed you guys talking about Dragon Ball Z, though.
Thank you.
You guys were good.
Did you listen to the Ladybug episode?
Not yet.
Sure.
Not yet. I'm still behind on my podcast right now. I'm usually 1 or 2 days behind on podcasts. So since that one came out on Friday, I'll probably get to it later today. But I like to listen to my podcasts like in the order that they come out because I'm that guy. So some other ones came out on Thursday that I'm still listening to.
Your Utah Jazz basketball ones.
Yeah, there's a few basketball ones I listen to because I'm a basketball guy.
And in other lame news,
Oh.
no, we do have some kind of, well, I was going to say kind of exciting news, but we do have news. We'll just go with it's news.
Some people might be excited. You don't know.
Yeah, Sony Pictures has acquired Funimation Entertainment. So
that means they'll have more money to play with, right?
they'll have more money to play with. I don't know. It's going to be different.
I mean, Sony's a Japanese company, right? So don't you think that'll open more doors for them being able to bring even more anime over?
Yeah, that's the hope. But then the other concern is, does Sony want to... Because they're pushing more into it, and it's like, okay, what happens if they make it too commercial? Maybe instead of doing like some of these voice actors, maybe they
Bringing
start putting
in big name
some
actors.
just because they're big name actors and not because they have the talent for it.
Right.
That's where we get into some of the like Your Name. What if they took Your Name and just put a bunch of like Hollywood people behind it to sell seats?
Yeah, that's true.
And then you're like, oh well, then we lost, how fabulous everybody was in that.
Yeah. But it also may open up other doors as far as all the Sony video games and things like that. Maybe all those great Funimation people
Maybe
will be
we
on
could get a
cool Sony PlayStation games.
Oh well, that's a PlayStation thing. Yeah, who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting what happens with that.
Yeah, I understand the wariness when it comes to acquisitions. You never quite know what to expect when a big company eats up a smaller company and intends to continue that company. Like I think a lot of those fears happened with LucasArts when Disney bought LucasArts. And for some people the jury's still out, but I think for a lot of people their fears have been allayed a little bit.
Yeah.
But I get it. Who knows what's going to happen now.
Exactly. We don't really know, unfortunately. Yeah. And it's probably not one of those things that we're not going to see anything until mid next year.
And you may not feel much of a change.
Exactly. We may not start seeing anything until
it may have just
happens.
been, oh, we're going to buy your business, and
because
now the profits are going to be in a
really
different
just
box.
kind of like just continue what you've been doing so far from the pressers. That's what everything says.
Yeah,
it's just like just keep on keeping on.
Cool.
You're like, okay,
well, that's good.
So hopefully, but again, you say keep on keeping on until something green comes along, and you're like, maybe we don't keep on keeping on.
Right. All right, what else you got?
We got, I watched, you know me, not a huge Ghibli fan.
Right.
So this weekend, I went out and bought Whisper of the Heart and The Secret World of Arietti.
You're becoming a Ghibli fan.
Yeah.
Like, there's several now that you like.
There's some of their animation, and these don't look like their normal animation. Like, I'm still not into like the Totoro
I think
and
what
stuff
it
like
is
that.
you're
I
not
like people.
You're not a big Miyazaki fan.
Yes.
Yeah. But Studio Ghibli is, it's a whole studio with other directors, and they have different style movies, and so I get it.
So I bought those two. Watched Arietti last night. That was
how'd
good.
you like it?
That was good.
You liked it?
Really
okay,
good.
Cool.
Ending kind of sad. Well, I knew they weren't going to get together because she's like a little bitty person who's like a big person. It's like I can't really have nothings.
Right.
But it was still, I was like, oh, it's cute. It was cute.
I still haven't seen that one.
I recommend it. It was good. I also watched Castlevania, the series that was on the Netflix series.
How was that?
Really, really fantastic.
Really?
I love that Japan has no problem. They're like, you know what? Just kill everybody. Men, women, children.
Yep.
Rip them apart. We don't care.
Wow.
Just do it. And they're like, okay.
So where did you see it? Was it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix, yeah.
Okay.
The first season's out.
Is there any sort of content warning? Like, is it...
I don't know, dude. I don't care.
You didn't look?
No.
Okay.
I don't care about content warning.
Well, I know. I just didn't know if you noticed.
Oh, no. Who knows?
Okay.
Probably not rated. Maybe rated R.
I think now, though, they come with a little disclaimer that'll say, this is intended for a mature audience or something like that.
I think there was a little thing that said, this got gore and blood.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, thanks. We'll get right on that.
But it didn't specifically say toddler blood.
Yeah. It's like, oh. But, yeah, I mean, it was really good. First season's up. So 4 episodes for the first season, so it's maybe 2 hours.
Okay.
I mean, like 22 minutes
CG
each.
CG or 2D?
Mix.
Mix, okay.
Mainly 2D.
Really?
Yeah, but there are some CG elements.
Does it kind of look like or harken back to the look of the video game at all?
I've never played any of the games.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Never played any of them.
Wow, that kind of surprises me.
They were all on PlayStation, and I never had one.
Oh.
I mean, I had a PS1, but like I played Digimon on it.
Well, I played
and then
it
I barely had a PS2.
way
I was
back
more of
when
an
on
Xbox guy.
Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
I played Super Nintendo, and like the one we played the most, and this is going way back, was Simon's Quest, Castlevania Simon's Quest. Hard freaking game, man. It was a side scroller. It was awesome.
But apparently, you feel because it makes you feel bad for Dracula. Because I guess is Dracula the bad guy in the games?
I mean, yes,
Dracula.
Yes, but
and this makes you feel for Dracula because it gives you like Dracula's backstory, and you're like, "Oh, Dracula, I understand why you want to kill all these people. You do it, bro."
Yeah, they do try to make him sympathetic in some ways, so that makes sense.
This game, first episode, you're like, "Oh man, Dracula, I get it, bro."
Like Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah. And you're like, oh.
Nice.
And then we've got some new anime coming out for Netflix.
Ooh.
They released a bit of their 2017-2018 slate.
Okay.
At an event in Tokyo this last week.
Is this brand new shows, or is this stuff that they're finally just releasing over here?
Bit of both.
Oh, okay.
A lot of it's like Netflix original type stuff too.
Ooh.
So we're getting AICO Incarnation. I think it's Ico.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That one's coming out. Be the Beginning. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I could read you
a list of names.
I mean, I could read you a list of names and like a synopsis for each one if you'd like. I could. They've also got Baki coming out, and I don't know if you remember, but in our episode with Robert McCollum, you weren't in that episode.
No, but I listened to
it. we talked about it in part 1.
Yeah.
His favorite role was Baki the Grappler.
Uh-huh.
Baki.
It's
this.
Cool.
They're redoing it, and I'm like, perfect. Maybe we can get Robert McCollum.
Is he's doing it?
Oh no. Not they haven't announced anything. Like there's no release date for it. It's 26 episodes. There's no release date.
Okay.
Something called Cannon Busters, Children of the Whales, which looks like whales.
Clever name.
We got a new Fate coming out, Fate Apocrypha.
Ooh.
Which fantastic. I love the Fate series.
Yeah.
Godzilla Monster Planet.
No way.
So an anime Godzilla.
Because what the world needs is another iteration of Godzilla.
Yeah, right. Knights of the Zodiac, Saint Seiya. So, do you remember Saint Seiya?
No.
Back from okay, it's all right.
Sounds pretty cool though.
Saint Seiya is pretty dope. Yeah, and other things. Yeah, I was gonna go more in depth than that, but
there's
decided
too many.
not to. There's a lot, and it would take a while to read all those.
Right.
I could if you like me to.
Maybe you should post a list on Instagram or something.
I could post a list on Instagram.
Check it.
And then In a Heartbeat came out.
Yes, it did.
I guess we'll talk a little bit about that afterwards, and some other shorts that
we'll talk about that in the second half of the show.
Yeah.
But so exciting that it finally came out and delivered.
Yes. All right, Gavin.
We ready to get to our main topic?
Just do it.
Let's. So, this week,
My goodness, this is already starting off as a bad episode.
No, it's not.
I'm awful.
You're not.
Josh. Don't suck. All right, Gavin, go.
All right. So today it's our first episode in our new month, which is the first month in a while.
Awesome August.
We don't have a theme for this month. It's our first non-themed month in a while. It's kind of random. And we're kicking it off with Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. This is a Sony Pictures animated film from 2009. and spawned a sequel and a television series. Have you seen any of the series that started earlier
I haven't
this
seen
year?
any of the series. I've watched the sequel.
Okay.
Because it was on the Netflix.
Oh, yes, it was. Yeah, that's what I have a bone to pick with Netflix. Put more of the
How they
original
only put
movies on. It's only
they only put
sequels.
sequels?
Yes. What's the deal, man?
Didn't we talk about doing something like Sequel September? I think it was in a
Something
production
like
meeting.
that, where
We talked about maybe doing Sequel September.
All the straight-to-DVD sequels.
See, if we had a Patreon, that would be perfect for like a Patreon month. We would just do Sequel September.
Yeah.
Or our sequel series. We could just call it the sequel series.
That could be something. We'll have to make a note of that.
We can watch all the greats, like Pocahontas 2, Aladdin.
Or the ones
3.
that kill me are like Bambi 2, where they made it 60 years later.
Hey man, what's wrong
Crazy.
with Bambi 2?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I think I have it.
I mean, that's the thing. Usually now, when you buy the movie
Yeah, I
on
think
Blu-ray,
I got
it
it.
comes with the sequel.
Yeah,
or
like when I
the
just
2
bought Mulan,
sequels.
I got Mulan and Mulan 2, and I was like, they made a Mulan 2?
I know. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, 2009. This was one of the first films that Sony Pictures Animation announced when they formed their current group in 2003. They announced it, like it was this and Monster House, I think, were their first announcements. And, obviously this one came out 6 years later. But I remember, did you see this one in the theater?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I remember not having any idea what this movie was, being kind of like, I'm not so sure about this movie. And then I saw it, and I was surprised by it. I was taken completely by surprise by it. I worked at Barnes & Noble for 10 and a half years, so I'm very familiar with the picture book, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, from the 70s is when that book came out. It's as old as I am. And it's a very different book. Like, when they say this is based on that picture book, it's very loosely based on that. Like,
the name
story,
the name changes, and meat and some sort of food falls from the sky.
Yeah, food falls from the sky.
As long as you say it's based on,
right,
then you can get away with anything.
Sure.
Like, you can say, I don't know, give me something.
Harry Potter,
based on true events. Because you could literally have somebody go to a train station. They can go to King's Cross and be like, based on true events. There you go. Some kid goes to school based on true events. I mean, as long as you say based on,
funny.
You can get away with anything.
Yeah, no, I agree. I never feel like a movie is obligated to be 100% faithful to whatever media it's drawing its source material from. So I have no problem with that. But having that preconceived notion based on the book, and I don't even know if I watched a trailer for it before I saw it. But
I don't think so. I think I just saw it.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa.
I think I heard it had
this
like
is
Bill
way
Hader
different.
and Neil Patrick Harris, and I was like, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's got a lot of SNL people in it. It's got Bill Hader, it's got Anna Faris, it's got Will Forte, and it's got Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg, yeah.
So a lot of SNL people in it. A lot of SNL people seem to do voice work in animation, which is something I'm learning. Like Beck Bennett is in DuckTales.
Yeah.
Half of
Bobby
the SNL cast was in Sing.
Bobby
Remember that?
Moynihan's in DuckTales.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's Louie.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so that's interesting to me. But Bill Hader, man. Bill Hader is amazing in this movie. So the thing that jumps out at me about Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and I said it a bunch of times this morning, the colors in this movie, man. I mean, they just went full spectrum, whole rainbow, and I love that because I don't feel like enough movies. I feel like Trolls maybe did it, but I still haven't seen Trolls. But I feel like a lot of...
I think Trolls is on Netflix now.
I think it is. I need to see it. I think a lot of studios want to make something that's so pretty and like technically beautiful and artistically beautiful in a kind of a classic sense, and don't feel the freedom to just say, oh, we need a jet stream coming out of the back of this invention that Flint just made, and we're going to make the smoke, purple and gold and pink instead of just, like gray or orange with flames or something like that. They just went rainbow colors, and I thought that was so cool.
Like, I like I was telling you at the beginning, they're like, oh, it's kind of gray and muty and everything like that. So then it's like, all right, we need to wake the kids up. Colors
everywhere. Yeah,
made it super 80s.
I love it. to me the color really in a lot of ways makes this movie. It kind of lends to the whimsy of it, and I really like it. So, I mean, for me, this movie it just pops. I mean, it just jumps off the screen to me. How do you feel about the animation in general?
I think the animation's good.
I think, and it stands up.
Yeah.
It's 8 years old now,
And they do a great thing that I love. They do a thing with the background characters. The background characters do different things.
Yeah.
Like Will Forte's character.
Uh-huh.
Will Forte's character is just like oh god, what is he in Gravity Falls?
I don't remember that guy's name.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Get it.
Get
Just
it.
like he's just like always doing stuff like that. I'm
Yeah.
like, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
His name in the movie is Joe Town. So he's like the voice of the town, basically.
That's awesome. But yeah, like just stuff like that.
Yeah, they did a good
I
job
really
with all
like
the
that.
background characters. I was wondering if you were going to be satisfied.
Like there's this one dude like when they're at the ribbon cutting ceremony.
Uh-huh.
It's just like this English guy's got a bowler hat and he's got like a shrimp over his head and he's just like sitting there like, there's a shrimp. Please speak.
Nice.
And then there's the French guy who's got a piece of asparagus like a cigarette, and I'm like, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I think the animation in this really holds up. I think they did a smart thing where they made the character design really cartoony. They're not trying to go too realistic, so that you kind of, as soon as they try and go too realistic on a human character, our brains automatically start to criticize and be like, oh, well, that's not really how a face actually works. But since they went cartoony, they could give them, great, ridiculous, zany facial expressions. Like the moment when the weather machine actually starts producing the first hamburger storm, and there's that gasping look of awe on his face when he's just like, it works. It's one of the greatest facial expressions
looking at
ever.
It, rolls down the window, it's like,
yeah. It's such a great scene, and just his gaping look of joy and awe and amazement at the fact that it actually worked it's one of my favorite moments in the movie.
I like the Ratbirds too.
They were great.
It's one of those things that you should have been just like a one-off gag, but they keep bringing them back, but none of it seems forced
and non-repetitive.
Exactly.
Like they do
it's not like
things.
yeah, exactly. And you're just like, oh yeah, I forgot about the Ratbirds.
Yeah, they do it well. Yeah, you kind of forget the Ratbirds, and then they show up again. You're like,
and like that TV that he created like at the very beginning. You're like, oh, how's a TV again?
Yeah,
like an Easter egg TV.
I like it. And the fact that he's wearing his spray-on shoes the whole time because they don't come off. There were some really good continuity things like that in here. I read a list of continuity errors, and they're all like super nitpicky. Like, I guess the spaghetti tornado changes the direction in which it rotates in a couple scenes, which...
Oh, I did notice a bit on Dark Tower, too. There was
really?
There was a pretty big... Like, in the final battle with... spoilers for the Dark Tower, the book that came out like 10 years ago. In his battle with Matthew McConaughey, Idris Elba has like this like bandolier, and he's got like two things left in it that have... little bullets.
Right.
And then it cuts back, and Matthew McConaughey said something, and it cuts back to Idris Elba, and it's like full again. And I was like,
nice.
Hey,
you
wait
reloaded.
a second.
Nice. Yeah, there's a bunch of really nitpicky continuity things in this, but whatever. So I love the character design because it was cartoony enough that you don't have to worry about them looking, properly human.
Yeah, the humor is
great too. They could have
too.
really zany physical humor with the animation of their movements.
You talked about when he cries. He's like running in the rain from school.
Yeah,
He's
his little cry run with his floppy arms. Yeah. Anytime Flint is running, I find it hilarious. It has a monkey character. I know you don't like monkeys, but Steve is awesome. Yeah. He's great.
He didn't attack anybody.
Good comic relief.
Well, he did attack people.
He ripped off a mustache.
He did, and he kept going for those mustaches, man.
And he destroyed those gummy bears.
He flings those poops.
He does.
I like how he takes his hand, puts it in the gutter, rips its heart out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good gag humor too.
Oh yeah.
Like when Flynn goes in and he's throwing the snowballs and he hits he runs into the room and he hits that one little girl and she like hits her in the face. She like falls down on her knees and then, face first. I was
she got shot.
That's perfect. It's so good.
It's really good. So the directors of it, they wanted this movie to be kind of a spoof of, classic disaster films. They wanted it to be a little Armageddon, a little Deep Impact, a little, like those kind of films. And I think they did a good job with it. It's so silly, this idea of food weather and then their idea of cleaning up the leftovers, which was basically just catapulting them into this canyon, and they built a dam for it, and just this ridiculous idea of this ever-growing mound of food back there, which had to be rotting and gross. But
none of it was. It was all
great. It was all fresh and like it was just baked, which was, that's a cartoon. You gotta love it. But yeah, so the idea that it's this crazy disaster film, but it's food in raining down on them. I just think it's zany enough that it just works. You can't take anything seriously in this movie, and that's what works about it. It's just, it doesn't take itself seriously, and the acting in it is so good, and the animation is so funny. I love it. What do you think about the story?
I thought the story was really good. I mean, it's not anything spectacular, but
no.
But with it, you're just like, okay, it's not anything that gets you bored. You're never bored through the movie, which is hard to do. It's hard to make something where you're just not like,
yeah. Because
like I said, there's so much humor, throughout, the color palette and everything like that. It's not boring, which is an absolute plus. If you can make a movie that's not boring, you're good.
Yeah.
Story, I mean, it's kind of like, whatever. Yeah, doesn't really matter. But yeah, just the pacing of the movie, top notch.
Really good. Yeah, I agree. It's almost like this one doesn't need to rely on story.
I say that maybe the first little bit of the movie
is what?
When they're like, this is the sardine town. They had sardines, but then people realized sardines were gross.
Yeah.
You kind of just like, okay, yeah, I get it. But then they're like, okay. Then once we get to the the title sequence, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
Strapped in now.
Yeah, they kind of have to give you a little background, and then they let it ride. But yeah, I think in general, the story is less important in this one because they have a good gimmick, a good premise, and then it's just all the hilarious things that happen because of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it is a pretty basic plot, but it ends up being about the circumstances that they're in and the funny ways that they deal with it. My one problem, I think, is I don't really love the sequence once they fly up into the meatball and their kind of journey into the center to kind of confront the machine, basically.
It's also very anticlimactic.
Parts
too.
of that, yeah. It's like when he gets in there, especially, and it's like this weird, I don't know. It was almost like a queen termite in a nest or something. It was kind of weird. They didn't really make it clear, what?
How the sentient pizzas happened and how the chickens become sentient.
There were a few things, I don't know. I think that was a very difficult thing for them to try and tackle in concept, so I think they did an okay job. But once they get up there, that's the only segment of the movie where I'm just kind of like, this is kind of weird, and it's there's no sense to it whatsoever. But once they fly it back and then Flint gets delivered by his rat birds, the way that it ends, I do like a lot. But
which is weird because it does do that little thing in the credits where they're like, oh, look at all this stuff, but then you're like, wait, but the second movie negates all of this.
Does it?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Does the second movie take place right there at the same time?
No, they go back. They've left because remember they all abandon the island and they go back. So they have to go back and
go back to the island.
It's kind of like Jurassic Park 2. Yeah, exactly. And that's where they discover that the food has come to life.
So instead of going to Isla Nublar, they went to Isla Sorna.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. and they figure out that the food has come to life, and they make hilarious jokes like, oh, "There's a leak in the boat."
Life
and it's a leak.
finds a way.
It does.
I'm sorry. It's more of a life finds a way.
Yeah, you went a little Shatner there the first time.
Life finds a way.
So yeah, fantastic movie. I like pretty much everything about it.
Yeah, and the voice acting's top.
So the music in this movie is also top notch. I don't know if it struck you at all, but this is another movie done by Mark Mothersbaugh, who we've talked about on previous episodes. He's the founder of Devo, the Whip It band. Yeah,
I know.
So
I have one of their albums.
Okay, so he did Hotel Transylvania. He did what was the other movie that we talked about that he did?
So does he just do the Sony
Oh, the
stuff?
Lego movie.
Does he just do the Sony's type stuff?
In animation, it seems like they kind of have him wrapped up. But, I mean, he's also doing the music for Thor, Ragnarok. He does all kinds of soundtracks. He's doing the Lego Ninjago movie coming up.
Oh, I forgot about Ninjago. When is Ninjago coming out?
I think it's still out there a little ways on the horizon.
Okay.
Like
I need to look at when we have stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Leap's coming out soon, I think.
Which one's that?
That's the one with they're in Paris and like she wants to do ballet.
Oh,
he wants to be an inventor.
Yeah. That's right. That one looks okay.
Yeah, it looks okay. It looks like okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Anyway, the music in this is fantastic. When I finally purchased this movie, I was hanging out with Charlie. I think she was next to me on the couch attempting a nap, and I put this movie on, and the music drew her in. And then when it goes into the full color spectrum, she was just like, oh, this is amazing. And she's a huge Bill Hader fan too. So yeah, it was like a triple threat. And so it really grabbed her. She loves this movie. But it was the music that first like piqued her attention. And she bought the soundtrack like that
Yeah, I wish
day.
I could pay attention to that.
That's all right. I mean, it's just not your thing.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to hear what Corey thinks of the soundtrack, because he's such a soundtrack guy. I'd really love to know what his thoughts are on this soundtrack and other Mark Mothersbaugh soundtracks. I think it's fantastic.
It's too bad Corey doesn't listen to the podcast.
I think he does.
No, he doesn't. Prove me wrong, Corey. Prove me wrong.
Calling him out.
He knows where I sit at work.
We all do.
I still don't know where you guys sit.
Yeah, you've never been up to our place, have you?
No. I think I went up once and you weren't there because I dropped something off.
Oh, yeah. You had to drop something off to me at some point. I can't remember what it was. Yeah. Anyway, so we've talked about the art. We've talked about the music. We've talked about the story. What else stands out to you about this movie?
I mean, like I said, the humor.
Yeah.
The humor's really good.
Top-notch humor.
But,
really good jokes.
Yeah.
Like...
I really can't, like... I mean, there's really nothing more to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's so entertaining.
Yeah, it's just
but
there's
not much to say about it. It's just so good.
There's not a lot wrong with it. So
yeah. So good animation, good humor, passable
like I said,
story,
like,
great music.
Humor can make up for a passable story, right? For an all right story.
Well, I don't think every movie needs much of a story. Like some movies,
I don't know. I think there's a lot of thing that needs story.
Yeah, but not every movie, And I think this is a great example of a movie that it didn't need much for story. You had a bit of a romance, a bit of a father-son thing, and outside of that, it's just kind of a romp.
Yeah,
and it was fine. It was perfect. So, all right, dude, you want to rate it?
Yeah. What do you give?
This one gets 5 out of 5.
Oh,
Jiminy
wow.
Crickets from me. It's one of my favorite animated movies. I highly recommend it to everybody.
Well, that's funny because I'm going to give it 5 different pines.
Nice.
Because like I said, I mean, not being able to talk about this movie and be as salty as I usually am, that should be hint number 1 that Josh enjoyed this movie.
Right?
So, yeah, I think the movie's it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to buy it now.
It's good, man.
I
so
thought
good.
I had it, but it's one of those like, oh, I don't.
Yeah.
Weird.
Cool, dude. All right, so we're going to start or introduce a new segment, which we're going to do from time to time. What are we calling this segment, Josh?
We're calling it Salute Your Shorts.
Awesome. Now, where did you come up with that name?
Wanna, we hold you in our hearts. And when we think about you, it makes me wanna... What?
So where'd you come up with that name?
Old Nickelodeon show.
Of the same name?
Yeah, Salute Your Shorts.
Okay, cool.
Don't take us down
And
Nickelodeon,
so
please.
what's the point of this segment? How does that title work?
This segment, what we're going to be doing is... All right, so what we're going to be doing is whenever we find a really cool short film or somebody, brings a short film to our attention that we really like, we're going to showcase it and salute your shorts.
Awesome. I like that. It's really fun to go down that YouTube rabbit hole of just watching short after short after short. Oh, God, after short.
That's like all I did.
I know. It can take up hours of your time without you
before
you realize it. Yeah. But it's fun. So, of course, we're going to kick it off with a short that we've been talking about a lot lately. We interviewed the creators, Esteban Bravo and Beth David, a few weeks ago. So go check out that episode if you haven't already. But it's none other than In a Heartbeat.
Yeah, which came out last Monday.
Came out a week from when this episode comes out. And
so far, we checked it today, is at 19.6 million views.
Cow, so many views. How is that possible? This thing just hit, man. It hit big. I can't.
It's getting a lot of buzz all over the place.
It did a lot of the film festivals, so it had a lot of,
It had some buzz there.
Critical acclaim.
It was on Nerdist did a thing, BuzzFeed did a thing.
Nice.
And everybody clicks on everything from BuzzFeed. So
Sure. Yeah, it's gotten a lot of good boosts from those things, and that's awesome because those guys were really sweet to be on our show, and they seem like really great people. And I got to tell you, they created a really great short film.
They did, yes.
It's fantastic. If you guys haven't watched it, I recommend pausing, going and watching it. It's only 4 minutes and 6 seconds. It's like the number one thing on YouTube right now, so it's easy to find. So it's a wonderful little thing. What were your first impressions when you saw it?
It was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Like, I was expecting one thing, and then I watched it, and I was like, oh, wow, it's... dang.
Yeah.
It's way better than I thought it was going to be.
Well, what I was immediately impressed with, and they talked about when they were on with us, that they decided they didn't want to have any dialogue in it. And so you knew you were going to have to rely on facial expressions and kind of physical
there's some
interaction
in there that they do,
yeah.
And but that's it. There's no actual
dialogue. Words, yeah, and the facial expressions, their eyes, they tell the whole story. I am so impressed with these two, and the facial expressions that they got out of their characters, the heart, and then the two main characters. Their faces just make it. It's so good. They're so expressive. You feel all the feelings that they're feeling. You feel the confusion.
At
you feel
the end,
everything.
Spoilers for In a Heartbeat.
Yeah.
If you couldn't spend the 4 minutes to watch it, sorry.
Yeah.
But the little bits with at the end when Sherwin, after the heart rips, and he's hiding. Pretty much, and then he sees Jonathan kind of peek over, and he's like, oh shh, just kind of befuzzled and everything.
He wipes the little tear with his shoulder.
God, it's so
That's
good.
the
I was
sweetest little
all
moment.
of his emoting.
Yeah.
I was like, good Lord Almighty.
Yeah,
it's
really really good. That the expressiveness of him is fantastic. It's so well done. I would like you. It exceeded my expectations. I actually maybe had higher expectations for it, but it even exceeded those. I thought they really nailed the story and the characters so well that it's just delightful. I think in our house we've probably watched it in the area of 50 times.
Good Lord.
It's kind of crazy, yeah. So I've had a chance to pick up on a lot of the little details in it, and I'm just so impressed by it. And to know that was two student animators, on the brink of, going out into the world to hopefully continue to create great animation. It's just encouraging to me to know that there are people, being produced by the industry right now that are so good at animating.
Yeah.
And I think this is a great example.
And I talked with him a little bit, and hopefully we can get them back on soon.
They're like superstars now,
yeah,
so it'd be like real celebrities.
Exclusive. We'll just pop an exclusive tag at the beginning of everything now.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just so pleased with it. What I think that the animation in general is really good. They made some smart choices to not get too involved in creating elaborate environments.
And you can see a couple times like when people are kind of stiff, but those are usually background characters.
Yeah,
like the first time that we have that person walk by, like that silhouette person walk by Jonathan,
right?
And you're like, oh, okay, he's kind of like,
yeah.
But it's one of those where like, I mean, it's background characters. Nobody does background characters the way Josh wants background characters to be done.
Right.
So
exactly.
I want to write I'm going to do a whole series of a background characters. Well, no, that would be good. My favorite background characters.
Nice.
No, well, see, what I want is, I want to create a show, and it's literally about background characters. So like the day-to-day lives of these different background characters. So like have one where it's an anime and this guy, goes out and he's like, all right, well, time to go to work. And like he goes and like a giant mech like destroys the coffee shop that he works at. And he's like, oh, well, okay. And he goes to the unemployment office. He's just like, yeah, the mech destroyed my last job.
Nice.
I can't. He's like
that
a temp or something.
Man.
I think stuff like that.
You need to pitch that to Rooster Teeth, man.
Yeah. Hey, Tony, get me in touch with.
Yeah, seriously.
Get me in touch with the Gray. We'll get this.
So let's talk about the characters real quick in a heartbeat. So there's three main characters really. There's Sherwin, the little orange-haired boy, and
Jonathan,
and
the apple.
And then I guess the apple kind of. But then you have Sherwin's heart, who is like the most delightful.
I love when the heart,
like
when the heart replaces the apple, and like Jonathan like brings it down, and the heart's like,
yeah, he does a little squeak. It's so cute. Yeah, that heart is amazing. Charlie's already got me on my second art project with that heart. She loves that character.
Ink?
She's thinking about getting that as a tattoo right now. Yeah, so she's fully obsessed. Absolutely. But I love the interaction that they have
Never
here.
seen your wife obsessed with something, Hamilton.
I know, weird, right? It's such a fascinating concept, having one of the two characters' heart come out and become a third character and be like the physical manifestation of emotions that, maybe he doesn't want to have totally public yet, maybe he doesn't want to admit yet, but it's out there and he can't help it. And I think it makes for a great little dynamic and a great little problem for, a tiny short little story like this. And I think they pulled it off really well, because I think you get to see, like, I love the moment when the heart basically tackles Jonathan and is like rubbing up against his cheek, and then Sherwin comes in like, and they're both connected by the heart. They both have a hand touching the heart, and you see that realization wash over Jonathan's face. He's like, oh, you like me.
Yeah, and then you see all the other people that are like, oh. And then, Jonathan's like, oh, geez, I'm popular.
Right.
Like, I can't be doing this.
But see, I think they handled that really well, because with the kids that were standing around, I felt like it was a little more about confusion than it was judgment. And I kind of liked that, because not all kids are going to be instantly judgmental.
Especially kids these days.
Yeah, absolutely. And I liked that they were just a little like, oh, like kind of like
what's going on?
Maybe weirded out, maybe just confused. But it didn't look like there was a lot of, outright judgmentalism going on there. And I kind of liked that.
Anything.
And then, the ending where, you see Sherwin in the foreground, and then he like leans his head back on the tree, and see
there's Jonathan just, like,
in the
staring,
background, like coming to check on him. Oh, it's so great. And then when he does a little like,
he puts
the heart together and he does a little squeeze and he comes back to life. Oh, it's so adorable. I mean, everything about this I just found so pure and just delightful. I can't say enough good things about it.
Nice. Now, you watched another one.
Yeah, so we
ended up watching a lot of them from the Ringling College.
Yeah, there's a lot of good films coming out of Ringling, and I guess that's kind of what they do as their senior project.
And if anybody works at Ringling, hook us up. We would love to come down for a
little tour.
For a tour, that'd be dope.
Awesome. So we watched several over the last few days, and one of the ones that I found that I really liked was, and I don't think it was from Ringling. I think it was from. I think
that one's
actually from Spain.
Yeah.
Ooh, I can't remember, but you can
find it. France.
You can find it on YouTube quite easily. It's called Alike, Alike, and
all one word.
Yeah, all one word, and it's basically a father and son story about not losing kind of your lust for life, not getting lost in the drudgery of becoming a cog in the industrial machine. It's kind of reminded me of Inner Workings a little bit, where you're just kind of lost in the doldrums of a dead-end job, but this kind of incorporated a father and son story in with that same concept.
Yeah,
it's got a really cool look. It almost looks claymation, the characters.
It does.
Yeah, which I thought was cool, so go check that one out. You found another one from Ringling College that you liked.
The other one I found from Ringling was Jinxie Jenkins and Lucky Lou.
Yeah,
that one is phenomenal.
I watched that one too. What a cool concept that was too, because it was like this girl, Jinxie Jenkins, actually has all the good luck and nothing ever bad happens to her, so she's totally bored. And then Lucky Lou has all the bad luck, and he's just a paranoid mess because of it. Well, then they meet up, and the combination of those two factors just make for this awesome adventure.
Exactly.
And it's just watch it and hang on until you get to the pianos, because once you get there, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Then I also watched another one. I liked Welcome to Hell by Erica Wester.
That seemed like something I would see like on Adult Swim or something like that. It was pretty cool.
It's so good. It's definitely different.
Yeah, it's a fun little concept.
It's a fun concept.
It's an adult cartoon.
I mean, it's definitely not like one of these shorts where it's like, I mean, it is technically a short, but a lot of shorts that we watch, there's no dialogue.
Right.
Or
that's true.
very, very little dialogue, mainly efforts and stuff. But this one, it's full dialogue.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it.
Nice.
Like it was funny. It had a really good premise. And I'm like, I would watch a whole series of this.
Nice. Well, it seemed like they kind of did do a series of it, right? There's a few installations.
She's got a couple little other bits that she did in Flash.
Okay.
So,
cool. Yeah, I thought that was fun. So yeah, I think all of these are available on YouTube. Go check them out.
And then the most underrated one did you and your wife find it?
Which one?
Triumph. Find the one again.
I don't think I saw that one, no.
Yeah, you did.
Oh.
Triumph.
Oh, yes. That was pretty amazing.
It's the best.
It's cool that they would advertise using animation like that.
Yeah. Find that one.
Fantastic.
It's called Triumph Find the One ... again.
Right.
Exclamation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that good Lord.
It's like a whole story, and then it turns into a commercial.
You think one thing, and you're like, okay, I see where this is
got
going.
A catchy musical number,
and then it happens, and you're like, oh wait, what?
And it's really good animation.
Yeah,
like really good.
And then they go.
It's not what you guys are expecting.
No,
Go watch it.
It's not what you expect.
Go watch it. You'll be surprised.
Like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, totally. So I think what we kind of want to do with this segment is just, bring you guys some shorts that we've found, and, kind of steer you towards that, just so you can see what, because a lot of these are done by young animators, student animators, and it just kind of shows you what's on the forefront in a lot of ways.
Yeah, so. And see, it was it's not going to be like a super long segment, so kind of like, a little bit shorter than top 5, because we'll mainly talk about one, and then we'll be like, oh yeah, go check these other ones out. They're really good. Maybe do like 4 of them, 4 to 5 each time.
So go watch In a Heartbeat and push it over 20 million. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it'll happen by the time this comes out.
Yeah, it hasn't. It's been out.
Go watch Welcome to Hell. Push it over 20 million.
Ooh, I don't think that's going to happen.
Not with that attitude.
Maybe. But In a Heartbeat, man, it's a sensation right now. Yeah. So be a part of the sensation. Go watch.
All right. But we did have a winner for our X-Men 92 giveaway.
Sweet.
So this is going to sound like a cheat, but it was a really simple concept. It was, all right, comment on our iTunes.
Right.
That's it. That's all you got to do. Leave a review. That's it. Could be a good review. Could be a bad review. That's all you had to do. And at a silly redhead, or silly red one.
Oh, okay.
So that was Hannah.
Yeah.
Who just did the...
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, we put everybody in there. So
hey, reviews are reviews and rules are rules. And there was one rule, and she followed it.
And then we had another winner for our Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods.
Yeah. That's on Blu-ray, right?
It's on Blu-ray. It's Sweet. Blu-ray DVD combo pack because we spared no expense. The winner for that one is the Flores Workshop.
Yes. Nice.
So is that David?
Yeah.
I almost said Anthony.
Congrats,
I don't know why.
David. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so I guess that's about it.
I think that's it, dude.
So we had our winners announced.
Mm-hmm.
You have Flores. You have David's stuff, right? Because you've done commissions for him, right?
I can find that. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I got Hannah's stuff, so
cool.
That'll be easy.
Sweet.
Now next week we do have something special. So next week we're doing what the heck was that? It felt like a bug, but it was just the cord, and it freaked me out.
Josh just did the greatest jump because the mic or the headphones cord hit his foot.
I thought it was a spider. And that
was amazing.
What were we talking about?
Next week, something special.
Oh yeah, next week. Oh yeah, we need to talk about what we're doing the rest of this month.
Okay, we can do that.
Next week we're doing a Garden of Words, which is Makoto.
Same as your name.
Shinkai's the last name.
Mm-hmm.
Josh or Gavin Vamp.
Okay, so I'll just tell you the list that we're doing for the month, the non-themed month of August. Words. Next one is Garden of Words, which we're both very excited about.
From Makoto Shinkai.
And our friend Corey is going to be on with us, so we're going to have a three-way. Woo! And after that is Miss Hokusai, which
I automatically went to Lonely Island.
Totally nice.
If it's in a three-way, it's okay.
Miss Hokusai, which I'm excited about.
Yes,
it's got a little
because that's
one
of your favorite Japanese paintings.
Or
not Miss Hokusai, but
yeah, Hokusai, great artist.
The tidal wave.
Yes.
What?
Good job. And then we're going to end it, and this kind of brings us full circle, on a show all about the Disney and Pixar shorts. So that'll be a whole episode.
That'll be a whole
shorts.
Salute Your Shorts.
We'll be saluting all kinds of shorts in that one.
Bermuda shorts.
Yeah, that's kind of our outlook
gym
for August.
Shorts, basketball shorts.
I'm pretty
short
pumped.
Shorts. Daisy Dukes. What? Who likes short shorts?
Lots of shorts.
Josh likes short shorts. That's right.
All right, dude. I think that's it, man. We're good.
I keep getting older, and they stay the same length.
Oh my gosh, dude.
What?
Okay, McConaughey.
Is it
close
over?
this thing down.
Oh, man. All right, so Gavin, where can everybody find you?
They can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Gavin Audison Art, and on the web at GavinAudisonArt.com.
Conveniently, you kept them all the same.
I did. How about the Animation Station? Or how about you first?
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
and
just
then the
skip
Animation
Josh,
Station.
jerk.
Sorry.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh L. Kane. You can find the podcast on Instagram at Animation Station Podcast, on Facebook at Animation Station Podcast, on Tumblr at Animation Station Podcast, on Twitter at Animate Podcast, and on our website, animationstationpodcast.com.
New improved website.
The new and improved. Well, it's not new anymore. It's like 4 weeks
still
old.
Pretty new.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things,
it is
pretty new.
Is D23 new? So
yeah,
it's been about a month.
That's
a month ago.
No, it wasn't.
That's almost a month ago.
In a week, it'll be a month. Because wait, what's the date today? I don't even know the date. Is it the 6th?
It's the 7th.
Yeah, we're almost a month away.
Yeah, so just shut your mouth.
Time flies, and in 2 years we'll be back.
Will we?
I will.
Will we?
I will.
Will we?
I will.
I don't know if I will.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll probably go to.
You'll be at the Rooster Teeth.
I'll probably go to like Disneyland again.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I'll go to D23 again.
That's cool.
Like, because there was really nothing for me.
Yeah.
I mean, the panels were good, but I mean, none of it was
right.
like literally the second that it was announced online. So I mean, there's no exclusives. The only thing you're doing is like going there for the actual panel itself.
Right.
And
If
maybe
it
get
was
some swag.
instead of Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel, if it was Cartoon Network, Star Trek, and DC convention, you'd be there all 3 days.
Probably. Depends on what the show floor is like.
Oh my gosh. I think you would.
If there was a cartoon convention, that would be pretty cool.
Why isn't there a cartoon convention?
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's something out there in like Lawrence, Kansas. It's like a cartoon convention. Shout out to Lawrence, Kansas.
Yeah.
And Kanagawa, Japan. You know who you are.
Totally. I like it.
What are we doing?
We're closing the show.
Oh, okay.
Slowly.
Closing time.
No.
Stop all of your talking.
Terrible
and
song.
Shut up the microphones. What? Really? It's a good song.
No, it's not a good
You don't
song.
like Josh's version of it?
Your version's fine, but it's not a good song.
I was gonna try and do something cool and catch it, but it hit my back, so it didn't work.
Nice.
All right. So, anything else? Anything else popping on the top of your mind?
No. I got nothing.
I suddenly remembered my Charlemagne.
Oh my gosh.
Let my armies be the...
It's been Sean Connery all day with this guy.
Well, no, because nobody's heard the Sean Connery because we've had to cut the Sean Connery.
Well, do it. Do it now. Get your Sean Connery in right now. Say, I am the last one. Go.
Say, I am the last one?
Yeah, from Dragonheart.
Oh, I don't remember Dragonheart.
Oh, Corey just died a little inside.
Oh, I'm sorry, Corey. But, you know what? He may have died a little inside, but I suddenly remember my Charlemagne.
There you go.
Let my armies be the rocks and the trees and the birds in the sky. Now that turned more like weird, like just like straight Scottish.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
let my armies be the rocks and the trees and the birds in the sky. I tried to roll an R in sky, but there's no R to roll in sky.
there's not.
No.
I was going to let that one slide, but you
Oh,
outed
slide?
yourself.
Let
Outed
it
yourself.
slide, Gavin.
Yes.
Oh, it's so bad. It used to be so good.
Work on it, man.
It used to be so good.
You can get it back.
Maybe. It hurts inside.
Oh, well. Just watch Last Crusade a few more times, and you'll have it back.
Did we talk about Brave, or did that get cut?
I don't know.
I think Brave got cut. Yeah, Brave got
maybe,
cut.
yeah.
Dang it. Don't want to be a princess. I want to shoot a bow and kill a bear.
Yeah.
Dang. Gavin, do an accent.
I can't do any. No, I can't do any
Really?
accents.
Not even going to try.
I can do a Liverpudlian accent a bit.
A Liverpoolian?
Mm-hmm.
Not sure they call Liverpoolians.
Liverpudlian.
Liverpoolian. No, they're called Liverpuddles.
Liverpuddles?
Liverpoods. Are we done?
We're so done.
We're so done.
Terrible ending.
All right.
Made you look.
So geez, I was just gonna actually do the sign-offs. But you know what, Gavin?
What?
I enjoy doing the podcast with you.
I enjoy doing it with you.
Oh, you killed it.
You asked me to jump inside your head. I can't do that.
Well, I was going off the movie that we just watched. So you say it.
What? I enjoy doing the podcast with you.
Me too, but with you.
Oh, but about you.
Yeah,
Okay.
see?
I didn't know where you were going.
I had it, and I
did
was
have
hoping
it.
you were doing it, but then you let me down, Gavin. You let me down.
I'm not inside your head.
Like you always. Thank you for listening to the Animation Station podcast. My name is Josh.
I'm Gavin.
Bye-bye, little butterfly.
Made you look.
Thank you for listening to the Animation Station Podcast. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Animation Station Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Animate Podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes. And join the conversation at SecretSuperheroClub.com, where you can connect with our podcast friends, Cloud City Cast, Getting Into Comics, and Shaun of the Gathering.
But anyway, what's her name from Raiders? She's so attractive.
Gorgeous.
She's absolutely phenomenal.
She's my favorite.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Other than then who else is there? Who was in? Was there anybody in? There's that. Is she French, or what is she? In
Last Crusade.
In Last Crusade, I don't remember her accent.
I think she's German.
Is she German too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think she is German.
Belloc is French from the first one.
From the first one, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think she is. She
And
must
then
be
the
German.
second one, you have Kate Capshaw.
Who can't act
Yeah.
her way out of a sack. Who I think was literally in a sack at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not great.
Kalima. But no, yeah. What is her name in the stupid movie?
Miriam Ravenwood.
Marion. Oh, God. Those freckles.
She's gorgeous.
My goodness.
Yeah.
She's super cute.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And aged, and I told you earlier, aged like a fine wine. When she's in Crystal Skull, I'm like,
one of the only good things
dang.
about that movie.
She was
looks
She was
great.
the only good thing about Crystal Skull.
Oh man!
Like
it
you
was
look at Harrison
terrible.
Ford and you're like, Harrison.
And the graphics in that were so bad.
But then you see her and you're like, childhood was rekindled inside.
That's awesome. Takes you all the way back to 1981.
Yay! I thought it was 83.
No, I think it's 80. It came out between.
Okay,
81
yeah,
or
it would've been
82.
81,
It came
82.
out right between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
I couldn't remember if it came out the same year or if it was.
It was between
It was
the two.
between. Okay, yeah.
So somewhere in there, 81, 82, something. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, you know what they do in Los Angeles?
What?
They do this whole series at the Hollywood Bowl where it's like such and such movie in concert, and they just did Raiders of the Lost Ark this weekend.
So were they like
where
playing
it's
the
a
movie?
symphony orchestra and then a movie screen above them, and you get to hear the music live, and then they play, and you get to watch the movie.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds so cool.
I know they just did it this weekend. Somebody I follow posted it on Instagram. I was like, why don't I live there? I could do stuff like that.
Well, maybe in like 6 months.
I hope so.
It could be you.
It could be me.
It's like Dan Cook. Why not me? Why not me?
I want that acidity spit.